visit to the ballpark in Arlington, and here's the Southwest Airlines lineup for Dusty Baker's San Francisco Giants. Darryl Hamilton leads off in center field, batting second at shortstop Jose Vizcaino. Hitting third at second base is Jeff Kent. Batting cleanup the left fielder Barry Bonds. Hitting fifth at third base Mark Lewis. Batting sixth the designated hitter Glenn Allen Hill. Batting seventh in right field Stan Javier. J.T. Snow, the first baseman, bats eighth. And hitting ninth is the catcher Marcus Jensen for the Giants. And the Rangers in the field here will have Greer, Buford, and Newson in the outfield. Palmer and Clark on the corners in the infield. Ripken and Mark McLemore back in the infield. Pudge behind the plate, and Darren Oliver on the mound to throw that first interleague pitch tonight, Tom.
Well, Darren's still looking for consistency. 2 starts ago, he beat the Twins 8-0. He went 8 innings, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Looked like he might be back on a roll. Then in his last start at Kansas City, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 6 runs, and got the loss in the 10-4 game at Kansas City. So Darren still looking to put back-to-back games together.
Darren Oliver, these guys good friends from their time together. Oliver, good friends from their time here in Texas. Faced each other 5 times, and Darryl Hamilton has the first hit in an interleague game for you trivia buffs out there. A leadoff single for Darryl Hamilton, and Eno, the second hitter in Dusty Baker's lineup, as Hamilton gets the leadoff single. That one's hit to short. Ripken to McLemore, on to first. It's a double play. And just like that, the Rangers have the first 2 outs in this game.
First strike, first ball, first hit, first strikeout. Billy Ripken really gives McLemore a nice feed. It's a
off in right field, Warren Newsom. Batting second, the catcher Ivan Rodriguez. Hitting third in left field is Rusty Greer. Batting cleanup, the DH Juan Gonzalez. Hitting fifth at first base, Will Clark. Dean Palmer plays third and hits sixth. Batting seventh is the second baseman Mark McLemore. Damon Buford in center field will hit eighth. Batting ninth is the shortstop Bill Ripken. Defensively for San Francisco, Bonds, Hamilton, and Javier. In the outfield, Lewis, Vizcaino, Kenton, Snow, to Rusty Greer with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. And that one's hit back up the middle, way over, and unable to make the play this time is Jeff Kent. And Rusty Greer as an infield single. The man on, and check out Rusty.
Good moving fastball. Rusty hits it off the end of the bat. Kent known more for his offense than his defense. Very serviceable player, though. He's played a lot of second base, a lot of Clark. The big factor last night was the fact that all the guys in the middle of the line.
3 games over 500. Back up the middle, off the glove of Gardner to Kent, on to first, and Gardner gets out of trouble in the first inning. And Mark McLemore back in the Ranger lineup with one at Kent. He boots it, and McLemore is aboard. The Giants have had trouble in the field.
Get a jump off a pitcher he hasn't seen much of.
There goes Buford. And nobody covering second base. A mix-up in the Giant infield. Marcus Jensen, the catcher, ready to throw down, but neither the shortstop Vizcaino or the second baseman Jeff Kent even covering second base.
It's a curveball, which is usually a good pitch to run on, but it stays up, so it's actually a good pitch for Marcus Jensen to throw. Unfortunately, both middle infielders were backing up on the play.
Dusty Baker, the Giants manager, can't be pleased with the play of his infield here in the early going tonight. Up the middle, Ripken with a base hit, Buford around third. And Damon Buford scores the first interleague run ever.
Game, Bill was hitting .417 with men in scoring position, and he's added to it with a clutch single up the middle early in the ball game. Clutch single thanks to the error by Jeff Kent, which put the man at first base, and then the fact that no one covered second base on Buford's steal attempt.
And he'll face the bottom third in the Giants order as we get things started here in the third. This one sold out several days ago. That one's hit high in the air to right field. Newsom back, and that ball is out of here. Just as we talk about the wind, Stan Javier gets the home run to right field on a line.
Well, that's the one we're talking about right there. That ball was hit well, but it was hit low. And I don't think that ball normally with no wind would have carried out of the ballpark. But that got up in the jet stream that the players say is created when the wind blows in. It hits behind home plate and blows back out. And it looked like this ball got halfway to the outfield and got in the jet stream and just was carried right out of the ballpark. Look how quickly, and two of them are in the same family.
Bonds known for not only power but also stolen bases. Nice backhand at third by Palmer. Long throw, and he gets Marcus Jensen for the second out of the inning. Nice play. Ivan Rodriguez with the first inning strikeout. But Pudge has been hitting the ball well of late. Vizcaino way over behind the bag makes the play for the first out of the third. And bounced one off Gardner, and there goes Greer. And the throw to the shortstop side of second base, and Rusty Greer has the stolen base.
An excellent thrower from behind the plate, but his throw is toward the shortstop side of second base, and that allows Rusty Greer to get in front of Vizcaino's tag. That throws on the bag. Rusty's out. And Bonds, 2, 3, and 4 hitters for San Francisco in the top of the fourth. On the ground to Palmer. Foul ball. Called right off the bat by Jim McKean. Vizcaino doesn't know it's foul. Jim McKean pointing to himself saying, hey, I called that ball foul. Let's come back. Dusty Baker's going to argue. I didn't see Ed Hickox, the third base umpire. He may have called it fair. I'm not sure. But it's the call of the home plate umpire, and Jim McKean called this ball foul right off the bat, and he's going to come down and explain himself to Dusty Baker.
In fact, that's what he's saying. If you read lips there, it's my call. It's what it appeared that Jim McKean was saying to Dusty Baker.
Dusty Baker, as the manager usually does, will lose this argument. Vizcaino chops a low fastball. Appears from that angle to be foul. The problem for the umpire at third base is he's shielded by the player's body. He catches the ball in front of his body and really can't see the ball. It's two of them, one to left field, one to right field. Bonds hit one to right field. Lewis hit another one. And here's another one. This ball hit sky high by Glenn Allen Hill. Back to the wall. Greer, with his back against the wall, makes the catch in front of the scoreboard for out number 2 away, because he just hasn't thrown many pitches inside. This ball's hit very well to center field by Rusty Greer. Hamilton on the run. He's not going to get it. It's off the wall. Hamilton plays it quickly, but Greer's into second base with a double. Setting up outside, but watch the pitch. It comes right down the middle, and that's why Rusty Greer hammers it to center field for a 2-out double. That was a
play. It's 1-1. Nicely played game as we go to the 6th inning, and just over the head of Mark McLemore. First batter of the 6th inning. Marcus Jensen is aboard. Snow is aboard. You see McLemore going back on that one and just beyond his outstretched arm.
It was a pretty good changeup from Darren Oliver.
So Snow is aboard, and he's running on the hit and run. Throw down, and easy play at second base as Pudge nails J.T. Snow. Marcus Jensen couldn't make contact at the plate on the hit and run.
Tough pitch for Marcus Jensen. It's a hit and run, but the pitch is so far away, Jensen can't do it. This is the old laser beam right on target.
And there's strike 3 called. Darren Oliver keeps on keeping on here. Francisco Giants and Will Clark against his former team. It's been a while since he played with a chance to hit tonight, as the designated hitter rule is in effect in the American League ballpark. In the hole, Clark has a leadoff single, his first hit of the night.
There's a look at the fastball that Will Clark got. It was toward the outside part of the plate, but not as far outside as Gardner would like to have gotten it. Still a pretty good pitch.
Well, it can shorten your career very quickly. And a lot of people have trouble hitting that major league curveball. Palmer goes down 0 for 3 tonight.
You know, though, the last time I said that, Lee Stevens was at first base, and he ended up.
There goes Clark, and that one's hit in the gap, left center field. No chance for the outfielders. Here comes Clark around third. He'll score. Mark McLemore around second. He's headed into third, and Mark McLemore, welcome back. An RBI triple, and the Rangers have the lead.
Made it a certainty that he would score. Nice hitting by McLemore. That's a good pitch from Gardner, a tailing fastball on the outside part of the plate. He deposits it right between Bonds and Hamilton, rolls to the wall. Clark scores easily, and Mac has a triple. Mac showing no signs of a bad knee. Runs knows what Damon Buford has done over the last week or 10 days, and that is not make good contact. Doesn't want to strike out in this situation, so he went to the squeeze play. Giants chose not to pitch out. Buford had a pitch to bunt and fouled it off.
And that one's hit in the air. Here comes Bonds. McLemore was tagging, not hit deep enough. McLemore doesn't even make an attempt. Called strike one. Ranger in contrast to Darren Oliver. And that ball's hit into left field, a base hit. For the second time tonight, Billy Ripken has an RBI single, and the Rangers lead it 3-1.
Well, they know that Billy Ripken will swing at the high fastball. Ripken jumps up after it and hits it sharply into left field. His second base hit of the game with a man in scoring position. They'll play the horn, and they will cheer hard for the Rangers.
Back up the middle, off of Gardner to Vizcaino, and the force play goes 1-6 to 4 for the final out of the 6th inning. But the Rangers get a couple of runs, and we're back after these messages from your local station. Snapping that 6-game losing streak, and Ranger bullpen, they've missed him. Back up the middle, second straight single right back up the middle. Jeff Kent is aboard. The first two are on for the Giants here in the 7th. Night games throughout this homestand, a brief 4-game homestand, and you can see them all on Lynn, Channel 39 in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and Channel 5 on Saturday night. Dick Bosman out of the Ranger dugout to talk to Darren Oliver, with Barry Bonds coming up. All the Ranger players and coaches and manager Johnny Oates pass along.
He did tell me one thing, Bill, and that was to tell you to take the Coke away from your scoreboard. That was one of his pet peeves.
Barry Bonds hit with the pitch, and Bonds is aboard, and the bases are now loaded. It's his pet peeve, huh?
That's his pet peeve. Get
Minnesota. It's now a bases loaded, no out jam here in the top of the 7th inning for Darren Oliver. Just as things are going so swimmingly. And this one is popped up into shallow right field. Tough play, and it falls in front of Newson. From third, the throw not in time. From third, it's Jose Vizcaino scoring, cutting the lead to 3-2 on the pop single into shallow right field that Newson and McLemore, neither one had a chance on.
This ball is popped up pretty high to fairly significant right field. The Deacon doesn't even come close to it. He must have been playing way back in right field against Mark Lewis. So well-located blooper in a tough inning so far.
Traffic earlier, Glenn Allen Hill. He's 0 for 2 tonight, but his home runs have been clutch home runs.
What you'd be hoping for. Or a line drive right at an infielder. That wouldn't be bad.
That one's hit to left center field. Going back is Greer. Tagging is Kent. The throw goes into second base as Bonds moves along to third as well, and Jeff Kent scores the tying run. Glenn Allen Hill with the sacrifice fly to left field, and this game is tied.
Both runners tag. In fact, all 3 runners tag. Kent scores easily. Bonds goes to third, and this is a heads-up play by Rusty Greer. There's no chance to throw anyone out at third or home, but you have to get the ball into second quickly to keep the double play in order with Javier at bat.
So 2 runs in, and now Javier hits one down the line in right field corner, and it falls for a base hit. In to score is Bonds, the go-ahead run, and putting on the brakes at third base is Mark Lewis. It's a double, and the Giants have the lead.
We talked about how efficient Darren had been with his pitches. He cruised through 6 innings, but it's fallen apart here in the 7th. Another well-located ball right down the line. The Deacon can't.
Jensen hitting only 172. Into trouble here in the 7th. Strike 3 called. And there's the second out of the inning. Hamilton, and the way he can field the ball in center field, he doesn't make an error tonight. Darryl Hamilton will have his errorless streak at 200 games in a row. Juan can't believe the call. He's a strikeout victim at the plate. It's a 1-2-3 inning, and sleepovers at the ballpark. That one's hit by Bonds into left center field, and it's going all the way to the wall. Barry Bonds is in with a rarity this season for Barry Bonds. One of the most unbelievable statistics that we've seen in a while. Barry Bonds comes in tonight with only 4 doubles on the season. For Barry Bonds, that's unbelievable. There's number 5.
There's on his elbow, too. Talked the other night about how several guys use that guard. Canseco, Mo Vaughn.
Rusty playing it off the wall there, and that'll be it for Darren Oliver, calling it a night with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Johnny Oates is out to change pitchers, and back after these messages from your local station. It's Xavier Hernandez.
The X-Man has been hot for Johnny Oates. He's been pitching very well over the last couple of weeks. He's lowered his ERA down to 3.58, hits fewer than innings pitched by 5, doing a nice job in that setup relief role.
Danny Patterson the last couple of weeks. That one's hit to center field. Damon Buford going back, and Buford has no problem with it. We're through 7.5 innings here at the ballpark in Arlington. The Rangers need a run. We're in at third base for San Francisco. San Francisco's starting pitchers over the last 16 games only have gone 6 innings 6 times. That one's hit to Hamilton in center field. And the errorless streak continues for Darryl Hamilton, going for number 200 in a row tonight.
Classification so he could comfortably get back into pitching form. I think so much emphasis is, and I don't know who's placed it, the teams that have signed him.
The Rangers with precious few opportunities now. Palmer hits this one to left field, and Barry Bonds has it measured. 6-time Gold Glover with the swipe snatch of that one. And there's 2 outs. Big crowds expected for the entire weekend. That one's wafted by Hill down the line in right field. Long run for Newson in foul territory. He makes the play by Warren Newson on the run.
Boy, he had to go a long way to catch this ball, and then he has to contend with a wall. That's a super play. And Warren
for the weekend. Giants conclude this 2-game series here tomorrow night. 25. The 2 starters tonight. Oliver had a rough go in a 3-run 7th. That one is hit by Javier over the glove of Will Clark into right field, and Stan Javier has his 3rd hit of the night. As Xavier tries to give the Rangers a chance in the bottom half of the inning. Strike 3 called. Xavier Hernandez does the job again, and now it's time for the Rangers' turn in the bottom of the 9th inning. Down a run here at the ballpark in Arlington.
Well, Beck is one of the best in the business. Those are his numbers. As we said earlier, he leads the National League with 19 out of 21 saves. His big year was 1993 when he had 48 saves. He's worked 1 inning or less in every one of his 28 appearances. He's never pitched in the 8th inning.
Season this year, dating back to last year, he had 23 of 25 saves. And Newson, first ball hitting, hits it to Hamilton, and Darryl Hamilton has his 200th straight errorless game, and the Rangers fall in the first interleague game ever, 4-3 to the San Francisco Giants. The Giants are winners in game number 1 in interleague play. Rangers fall to 2 games over 500. The night that began with Willie Mays and Nolan Ryan throwing ceremonial first pitches ends with the Giants taking the Rangers by a run. We're back to wrap this up in just a moment. Now these messages from your local station.